Oh, okay. Hold up. Let's switch this around. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. I'm just a rookie still. Still trying to get the live streams figured out. That looks good. Right about there. Good morning, folks. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing on this Monday morning? We're going to let everybody get in because I made a couple mistakes as far as planning this whole thing out. I started to plan it from my computer, and that didn't really work. Apparently, I have to plan it all from my phone, so sorry about that. Anybody who got a little mixed up because of that. I said Monday. You know why I said Monday, guys? Because I sprained my ankle, and I haven't been to work for the past few days. So I'm all mixed up on what day it is because I'm not used to having days off. And I changed the vlog upload schedule. So, yes, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesdays with Tom. Live stream Tuesdays with Tom. Alright, let's see who's in the chat. Samara's in the chat. Jeff's in the chat. Zippity Doodad's in the chat. Jen's here. What's up? Hi and bye. I love that. Happy Tuesday, y'all. So, guys, yesterday, Disneyland officially is open. Galaxy's Edge is open to the public in Disneyland. And I watched Adam the Woo's vlog. And I saw some pictures from the lines at about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm sure you guys saw those pictures too. If you're in the Disney community, you probably saw them. There weren't a lot of people at 6 a.m., but by about 9:05, 9:06 in the morning, just a couple minutes after park opened, it had hit capacity. And they then put people into what were like these crews that you were going to enter. And it was kind of like really awesome because it seemed like from Adam's vlog, he got in within about an hour and a half of, waiting. So about 10:30. So I think that's actually pretty good. And then once he got into the land, it looked like not really jam-packed. So compared to the opening of Pandora, which was like a nightmare, and the opening of Toy Story Land, which was also kind of a nightmare, I think that there are going to be some other factors involved as far as, Walt Disney World's a different animal than Disneyland is. But I think that all in all, guys, we're not going to be like really that jammed in like sardines, and we're not going to be waiting forever and ever and ever to ride Falcon. I just don't think it's going to happen, according to what I've seen so far. If you guys have some other information, let me know. So, Jan, I thought you were leaving. You're back here. You're back in the chat. Never too much pixie dust. Hey, guys. What's up? Oh, God. M's in the house. What's up, M? Galaxy's Edge squad is deep. It is a deep squad. Hannah's in the house as well. What is up, guys? What is up? Repping the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. If you guys haven't had a frozen coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, it's delicious. So, back to my point about the opening. Galaxy's Edge, you can start getting into Galaxy's Edge at 6 a.m. Hollywood Studios closes at 8:30 the night before. I don't think Disney's going to let people start lining up immediately. Like as far as soon as the park empties out, so say that's 10:30, I don't think they're going to let people do that. If they do, then the Galaxy's Edge squad, as Emily called it there in the chat, is going to have to unite, guys. We're going to have to like take individual watches, you know? Somebody can run back to the hotel, or we can bring a sleeping bag and I'll take turns catching some shut-eye, because that would be a really long wait. I don't think I've done anything like that since, I don't know, back in the day when like the iPhone 3 came out, the 3GS. I waited all night in line for that thing. I don't think I'd be doing it forever again, I think I said to myself at the end, so. Because the thing is when you do something like that, then you're burnt for the rest of the day. Like, I don't want to go into Galaxy's Edge, this place that I've been waiting 4 years for, pretty much, like, just totally destroyed because I didn't have any sleep. It might even require, like I said, kind of like teamwork, you know? I mean, guys, I know a lot of you guys that are going to be in Galaxy's Edge are here in the chat, so we're going to have to make a plan for sure. Yeah, Patrick, good point, man. Is Disney going to roll out any kind of reservation system? I don't know. I think if they were gonna, they would have done it already. I hope that they do. I would be happy about that, because that really seemed like the best way to do it. But again, I just don't know. I don't see why they wouldn't have announced that already. You know what I mean? If you go onto the official Disney World website and you kind of like just browse the Galaxy's Edge section, you know, it's all there. It's like, okay, you know, you may have access, annual passes, etc. Do not guarantee, you know, entry, blah, blah, blah. You know, they tell you that Rise of the Resistance isn't going to be ready yet. It's like everything's spelled out for you. So I don't know why they wouldn't have included that. So if they do introduce a reservation system, like obviously it would be just like Disneyland, in which that you would end up, you know, if you were a hotel guest, you'd end up getting that first come, first served thing, and then everybody else would get to do theirs. I don't think they would really fill up. I just don't see that being possible. Well, although it could, you know, it's like, it's a totally different thing. Disney World is this humongous place. It's almost like extra magic hours. Any Disney vet, if you guys stay on property a lot and you go to a lot of extra magic hours, especially the extra magic hours at Animal Kingdom in the morning, they suck. Like, it's a nightmare. You're gonna do Flight of Passage. If that's what you want to do, that's all you're gonna do. If you do something else, like Everest or Safari, you might be able to get 2 of them in before park opens to the general public, but like extra magic hours are not good because there's so many resorts and it's the only option for people. And if you're staying on property, odds are, you know, it's not your first time to Disney, you may be an annual pass holder. You know, this also includes DVC people. If you're staying if you're using points to stay in a room, you have those same extra magic hours, so there's a lot of people all congregating to this one park. So I think that same exact thing is going to happen at Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, guys, you're making good points there in the chat about there is a lot of differences. I know we all recognize those differences. I don't think we can directly compare what's happening in Disneyland to what's going to happen in Disney World, but we can definitely use it as like some kind of an example. You know what I mean? I'm using Pandora. If you guys haven't, this is a huge shout out to Michael. Go back and watch Michael K's Pandora opening day vlog. Pandora was a madhouse. So many people in there, Flight of Passage line out to Tiffin's all day. Like, I didn't see that at Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland yesterday. And so that's why I'm concerned. I'm like, how's that even possible? There's something going on here. There's some kind of anomaly happening. So guys, throw in the chat. I just want to know, what is everybody the most excited to eat in Galaxy's Edge? What is the #1 food item that you are excited to eat in Galaxy's Edge? I want everybody to just drop it here in the chat, and then I will tell you guys what I am looking forward to the most to eat. All right, Patrick says blue milk. I would consider that a drink. I was gonna also ask what are you most excited to drink, so that was question 2, but there you go. Chicken nugs, says M. Chicken nugs. There is technically the Andorian fried tip-yip at Docking Bay 7, food and cargo, is a big old piece of fried chicken. So it's just a giant nug. You're in good. Look at you. The what? The Andorian fried tip-yip. Endor, the planet. Tip-yip, the species. Fried, the preparation. Oh, Krispy Kreme lover says the popcorn. Jeff says the popcorn. There's no pork. No pork on the menu. There's some Kadu on the menu. There's some tip-yip on the menu. I'd have to look at it again. There's a lot. There's some desserts too that look bomb. David Cohen in the house. Hey Tom, glad to catch your live stream. I really enjoy your vlogs. David, thank you, my friend. The vlogs are where I put my heart and soul into. These live streams are just for fun. So thank you. The vlogs, that means a lot to me, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, guys, so let's jump back up in the comments there. The popcorn. Katseka's Kettle. It is going to be like the best popcorn. I don't know if it's going to compare to the Pandoran blue popcorn, which is like my favorite. I don't know if any popcorn's ever going to pass that. Wait for it. We will be back, I promise. Oh, there we go. Everything froze. Guys, I need a new phone bad. If anybody wants to donate to the Get Tom a New Phone Fund, we can definitely do that. It's a rainy day out here in the world. Alright. Boom. Okay, dude, live streaming's tough, guys. Vlogging's a lot easier. I gotta be perfectly honest with you. Vlogging is a whole lot easier than live streaming. To be honest with you, vlogging is a whole lot easier than live streaming is. Oh, oh. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Thank you for joining Tom's Does Disney's live stream. He will be back in action in T-minus a couple seconds. Okay, hooray for us, guys. Hooray for us. Patrick, I have Sprint, dude. It's actually, I like Sprint. It's just my phone is a piece of garbage. I will be buying a new phone for the Galaxy's Edge live streams. I think I'm going to get like an iPhone XR maybe. Something nice. Alright, back to food. Because I never got to tell you guys what my favorite, what I'm most excited for food in Galaxy's Edge. I think my number one food item is going to be the Ronto wrap from Ronto Roasters. This thing has pork sausage, slaw, this spicy garlic aioli, all wrapped up in this toasted pita bread. I have a feeling it is going to be my absolute number one go-to thing to eat in Galaxy's Edge. I'm also just as excited to eat the Kadu ribs from Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo. And I'm also excited to eat Olga's Obsession, the cotton candy jello with the boba pearls and the dried fruit, and at Olga's Cantina. That's gonna be really funky. Those are my top 3. Hey, do you guys have phone suggestions? Jeff says, love the XR. Patrick says the X series takes killer 4K. Alright guys, that's good to know. The XR is definitely the one I think I was looking at. I want the big one, the XS Max, whatever, the big giant one, but that thing is a pretty penny. Yeah, David, for sure, man. I think that without having tasted them, those ones that I just said, those 3 would be my go-to. Gotta have those 3. Uh-oh, Dan is in the house. What's up, Dan? I needed you here earlier, man. I've been experiencing technical difficulties. I need a seasoned streamer like yourself to show me what I'm doing wrong. We're talking food in Galaxy's Edge, Dan. Do you want to just drop right now, please, your most anticipated food item from Galaxy's Edge? I'll tell you my 3 while you type yours, because you missed them, dude. I really want to eat the Kadu ribs at Docking Bay 7, Ronto wrap, and Olga's Obsession at Olga's Cantina. Dan is a food guy, guys. If you haven't subbed to Dan, please go sub to Disney Dan's channel. He does awesome live streams, and he does food-related videos. What's better than food-related Disney videos? And he's a good guy, too. So let's move on next, guys, to what are you most excited to drink in Galaxy's Edge? Is it Dunkin' Donuts? Sorry, they don't have a Dunkin' Donuts on Bot 2. What is your number one drink? What do you guys really, really want? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic? What's your number one? Or put both. Up to you guys. Yeah, Dan, Ronto wrap. Definitely. I think it's going to be my number one. Pork sausage with shaved pork, slaw, garlic aioli, and a pita toasted. Sounds outrageous. Joy, I'm most likely the only person that's not into Star Wars, but I'm excited that it would take away some of the crowds at the other parks. Joy, that is an excellent point. You can definitely expect a few advantages. Disney's going to be doing extra magic hours at all parks as well. I think because of this Galaxy's Edge thing, they want other people to go and experience other parks. So there's going to be a lot of advantages for pure Disney fans about Galaxy's Edge coming to Disney World. So trust me, it's not going to take away from what you love. It's going to make it even better, I think. But please go, Joy, to Galaxy's Edge and watch Star Wars. They're great movies, and you don't have to love them, but I'm sure you'd like them if you watched them. Great information, David. That's awesome, man. Yo, Jeff, you're the man, dude. That's my number one as well. Yeah, guys, so blue milk. I definitely want to try the blue milk, but as the Disney dude, my buddy Jeff just said, guys, that is my number one as well. The Rancor Beer Flight. For $75, you get a little wooden tray and 4 hollowed out Rancor teeth filled with 4 types of Star Wars beer. I mean, what? Oh, Tanya's in the house, guys. If you have not followed Tanya, that crazy Disney lady, go and follow her right now. She does awesome live streams. Oh, excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. She does awesome live streams from the parks. They are the best. Go watch her. Hi, Sandy, as well. Thanks for joining in. Guys, everybody that's just joined in, thanks so much. We have been talking food and drinks so far at Galaxy's Edge, our most anticipated food and drinks. Just to recap, for me personally, my food items from 1 to 3, Ronto Wrap number 1, Kadu Ribs number 2, Oga's Obsession number 3. For me, number 1 on my drinks is definitely going to be the Rancor Beer Flight in the souvenir Rancor teeth. I also want to do a Bloody Rancor, which is like a Bloody Mary, and I want to do that as soon as we get into Galaxy's Edge because I'm going to need one. And I don't know if I have a number 3. It's actually probably the non-alcoholic Tatooine Sunrise, which is like a sweet tea from Ronto Roasters. Yeah, guys, the blue and green milk was so weird, says Lori. The popcorn was great. Uh-oh, we have got inside information here. Lori has been to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I want a Wampa plushie. Yeah, Dan, okay. Let's do that. So for me, out of the creature stall, I think my number 1 thing is going to be either that little cat, or whatever this cat thing is. I know it's canon Star Wars now. I've never seen it in any movies. I don't know what it is. But it's got that animatronic in the center of the creature stall. It's that cat. I want one of those things bad. I think that that's so cool when they introduce new Star Wars things that I love. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I could pass up having a Rathtar. Have you guys seen the little Rathtars? They're like this big, and when you pull their string, they just shake around like crazy. The Rathtar is the giant thing that Han and Chewie were transporting in The Force Awakens, those big, round, octopus-looking things. Tanya says, I homeschool my boys. We are currently on world history. Does this count as a lesson? Hello, children. Welcome to Star Wars history. I am Professor Velocity. Oh my gosh, my real last name. Don't follow me on Facebook. I am going to teach you a thing or two about Star Wars. Welcome to my class. Lori says, my son made a droid. Very cool. I think we're all going to be making droids, Lori. I'm going to touch upon droids in just a little bit. Yes, Tanya. Patrick says, oh, guys, you hit me with the chat. Hold up. Guys, Patrick says, oddly, the only thing I really have to do is build a lightsaber. I agree with you, buddy. I also have to build a lightsaber. They are cute. Raptars look so funny, Dan. Yes, they sure do. Even if you don't make it onto Smuggler's Run, Patrick. All right, man, I get it, dude. If I was going to choose just one thing to do, it would be the lightsaber as well. There's no doubt in my mind. Yes, David, there is a dry ice drink. I believe that is the Bespin Fizz. Or could be the Fuzzy Nuzzbud or whatever. There's a lot of weird drinks. But there is one that has dry ice. And I believe it's not an alcoholic drink. Lori said, went to the restaurant. Quick service was very good. Reminded you of Pandora. Anything that reminds you of Pandora, that's fantastic. Alright, you guys are probably laughing at my stupid Professor jokes. Guys, you know what's funny? I've been saying Olga, O-L-G-A, Olga's Cantina, for like months now. It's Olga's Cantina. I just found out last night when I was like looking at the hard menus to do a little research for this. Like, it's O-G-A, it's Olga's. Unless Disney, and then I almost was like, does Disney have this thing spelled wrong on their website? I'm not sure. One or the other is going on. Dan wants to build his own droid and put drinks on it like R2 in the Return of the Jedi. Dude, I love that they have the accessory for the R2 units that has the shot tray. I thought that was awesome. I mean, literally, I thought that was the coolest thing I had seen. So I'm right there with you on that. Let's move on then, guys, to the Droid Depot. We did the creature stall. We did food. We did drinks. Let's move on to the Droid Depot. I also am going to build a droid. I'm going to build a BB unit. I have to build a BB unit. He's going to be BB-17. And he's probably going to be black and orange, I think. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I'm going to get a personality chip for him, and I'm going to get the backpack. Straight up. I'm gonna get it all. Day one. Like, that's on my list. Bobby's World, Professor Tom, tell us about Star Wars creature like Nemo. Dude, I wish I knew as much about Star Wars creatures as I do saltwater fish, my friend. I really do. So, does everybody else, what are you guys going to build? An R unit, or are you going to build a BB unit? Drop it in the comments. BB or an R unit. Behave. I like that. Like behave. R unit for Patrick. Cool, guys. All right. So that's Droid Depot. That's Creature Hut. You know, one of the other things I'm super duper excited for that hasn't gotten a lot of attention is the Toydarian Toy Maker. What's cool about this shop is that there are like all these handmade characters from the Star Wars universe, and like the theme of the Toydarian Toy Makers shop is that he's heard all these stories from across the galaxy, and he has recreated them using the kind of items that you'd find on Batuu. So, you know, wood and cloth and all that. So it's really, really genuinely, I think, an overlooked part of Galaxy's Edge that I'm going to spend a lot of time in. I just now have seen everybody posting like all the little Easter eggs like up on the ceiling. There's the fight between Vader and Ben Kenobi and, you know, all this cool stuff. But one of the things that I think is the most cool about the shop is that, say like we were in there, there's like this big, I would say it's probably right about there, make an oval. It's like a projection, but it looks like a window. Or not a window, but like, I don't even know, almost like a piece of really foggy glass, and behind it you can see the Toydarian making the toys. It's just a projection, it's not an animatronic or anything, but it was just a smart way to not spend the money on an animatronic and get a vibe that there was some creature in there making these things. Our unit. Do we get to name yours? Sandy says. Contest. No, BB is going to be BB-17. Sorry, Sandy. There's no contest there. You guys can maybe name my R unit for me when I buy that. Disney dude, Jeff says, Eleanor wants a BB unit, wife wants an R unit. Awesome. You're going to have a family of droids. Which one are you getting, buddy? You got to have one for yourself, too. Everybody's like R2, BB. Everybody kind of wants both. I get that. I want both too. You got to get both eventually. Cool. That's awesome, guys. I'm happy to see everybody like really excited to get their droids. That's awesome. I didn't. What about I'm a pirate? I like that. That's awesome. Cool. Food, drinks, Toydarian Toy Maker. I want to use the big stuff we're going to talk about last, so let's move on to some of those cool little, like there's the Outpost and the First Order store. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be into because it's mostly costume stuff and trinkety stuff. So that's not a big pull for me. As far as Docking Bay 7 itself goes, like I think just about everything on the menu I want to try. And Dok-Ondar's. Let's go to Dok-Ondar's. There we're going to be grabbing Kyber crystals. We may, depending on how crazy I'm going money-wise, I may be buying Ahsoka's lightsabers because they are there and they are so cool. I definitely want to get a holocron, I think. I'm not sure, though, because the holocron seems kind of knockoff and cheesy. You know, it's like this plasticky kind of thing. Oh, you put your Kyber crystal in there and you can hear, like, Obi-Wan Kenobi will talk to you, or Qui-Gon Jinn, or I don't know. It's not as huge a draw for me as the other stuff. For some reason, it seems kind of meh. Tanya, you have to see the Star Wars movies. Where, again, you won't. I don't know if you'll love them or not, but you have to watch them. They are fantastic. Yeah, dude, the double-sided lightsaber. I know, I saw that too. So cool. So cool. I think if I was going to be tempted by the Legacy lightsabers, it would be Ahsoka's saber, the Jedi Temple Guard saber, and maybe even Count Dooku's saber, because I like that curved handle one. I love that thing. It's gnarly. Yeah, you got to see the Star Wars movies. Tanya, you'd love those. I mean, they're really fantastic. They defined a generation. They defined film in some ways. You know, certainly like sci-fi and the whole genre. Fantasy sci-fi wouldn't even really exist. I mean, it had started with Buck Rogers and stuff. History time, but you know, Flash Gordon, all that stuff like that those were huge inspirations for George Lucas. But the story was really there, you know, and it's like, just for me personally, Star Wars is all about that balance in life that you kind of have to find between not your dark and your light side, but kind of, in a way, you know, not dark side like you're not Darth Maul or you're not a Sith. I'm not talking like actual dark side, but I'm saying that there's always like a fine line you have to walk. And Star Wars has always been good at like defining that for me. I know some people like it just because they like, you know, lightsaber fights and space battles and all that stuff, which I love too. But there's a deeper meaning for me with Star Wars. I see what George Lucas was trying to get at. You know, some people follow Jedi as a religion. I'm not that hardcore because I think that's kind of ridiculous, but I definitely see the value in like the lessons that Star Wars tries to teach. Hey, Deacon's Universe. Hey, Tom Does Disney. My son and I went the beginning of the month. We had a blast. Place is amazing. Oh, Deacon, man, that's so cool, dude. I'm so jealous of you that you've actually been to Batuu. Bright Suns, man. Bright Suns. Ha. Dan follows Gungan religion. You saying big doo-doo now, Dan. You saying big doo-doo now. Boss man ain't gonna be happy about this. You guys have no idea how much I love Star Wars. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Speaking of, let's get to the two most important things of the day. Now that we've covered the rest. Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run. First things first. This is now joining the list of rides in Disney World that is going to have a single rider line. Coming from a guy who does all of his Disney trips solo, I love that. That is like the best news ever. Since Flight of Passage was supposed to have its single rider queue that the sign is still there for, they didn't even bother to take it down. Like, that made my day. When everybody walked into Galaxy's Edge last month and I was watching those live streams, I was so happy to see that. So the actual Falcon itself, movie-like replica, from what I've heard, spot on. You know what I mean? I've heard that it's beautiful, like breathtakingly beautiful. Like you're gonna tear up. And then the actual queue line looks so, like, it's so detailed, so much fun. Hondo Ohnaka is the man. I watched Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the animation show, all 6 seasons 3 times. I felt like such justification when I saw Hondo was going to be a part of this ride. Somebody that you wouldn't even recognize if you hadn't watched that show. That's the biggest fan service ever. In my opinion, ever Star Wars has ever done. Because only diehard fans watch the Clone Wars animation series. And hardcore people loved Hondo. So the fact that they were like, well, let's put him in there, it would be the equivalent of like Ahsoka walking around Galaxy's Edge. It would have been the biggest fan service thing ever. So the fact that animatronic, which I do not think, unpopular opinion, at me in the comments, I do not think that Hondo looks as good as the Na'vi Shaman. I think he's the second best. I think he looks really super lifelike, but I don't think he's as fluid. I think he's almost too fluid at moments. The Na'vi Shaman is the perfect balance. So Hondo himself, I'm excited to see. The ride, that pre-queue area, like the fact that you can just go and sit behind the chessboard and take your pictures and like flip some buttons and look around and like just explore before they put you in the cockpit is just the smartest idea. Because that's what people want to do nowadays. When you go to the parks, all you see is people on their phone, picture, video, me included, big old camera. You know, that's all we want to do is document our journeys. So the fact that they were like, skip all like, again, let's compare it to Flight of Passage. Skip all the Doctor what's his name, air on your head. Ooh, we're gonna fly. And Sigourney Weaver in the next room. Don't put on your glasses yet. She's gonna talk to you. Siva Ko. Now we actually get to ride. Okay, that's not what people want. It's cool and it's immersive and I love it, but it's not what people want. What people want is exactly what they get on Smuggler's Run. To just be able to freely explore and take their pictures and their videos the way they want. I'm just seeing Tanya comment. I'm trying to make sure that we will have no sleep, yeah. Yes, you're going to have a great time looking at all of us. Tanya's the best, guys. Like I said, please follow her channel. She will be there, and she'll most likely be live streaming since she's the professional. And I'll be vlogging because that's what I do. Yeah, so once you guys, sorry, I know I kind of broke there. Once you're done with that little room with the chessboard, you actually get on to the ride section of the Falcon. This is going to be 6 positions. 2 pilots, 2 gunners, 2 engineers. From what I've heard, the engineer is in okay position. The gunner is mostly like a button smash, and the pilot's what you want to do. There's a left and a right. I think the guy on the right controls the hyperdrive as well. So that'll be really fun. I want to try all those positions for sure. I like that Disney doesn't care if you film on it. That's a huge thing for me. I really like that. I think that's cool. And I think that ultimately, I don't know if it's going to be better than Flight of Passage. I really don't. From what I've seen right now, if you had a gun to my head and you were like, Tom, what do you think is better? What the information that you have? I would say, Flight of Passage for sure. Just because even videos of Flight of Passage just look, I don't know. But I like the interactivity of Falcon, that you can, like, it's a video game. And there's so many, like, graphics cards at work displaying real time. Like, that's the next level stuff. But I think ultimately, Rise of the Resistance, when it opens in Galaxy's Edge, will become that greatest ride ever, period. See you later. will be, we'll come back to this in 5 years when it's time to expand Pandora or expand. Some of these other parks are getting pretty cool expansions. Disneyland Paris is getting a whole Arendelle section, so I'm sure the Frozen ride there is going to be top notch. There's a Beauty and the Beast ride going to, I want to say, Shanghai or Paris, but those animatronics look like the best animatronics I've ever seen in my life. Blow the Navi Shaman out of the water type animatronics. So I know there's impressive things coming to Disney, but I don't think that Falcon is going to be the thing. I think that it's going to be Rise of the Resistance. Bright Suns, Diane. Sorry I was going on a tangent about the Falcon. Tanya is the best. Hey, everybody saying hello. You got to hit that hyper speed. That's right, Diane. That is right. It was definitely the best Star Wars video game you've ever played, Deacon. That's awesome, man. Did you ever play Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic? That's a video game right there. But no, I totally get what you're saying. I love that if you damage the Falcon on your way out, it'll all be kind of broken and stuff. It reminds me a lot of in Universal, Dudley Do-Right's rips off balls, like how there's that part at the end where like that shack explodes, but then it kind of puts itself back together. They kind of use that same technology at Galaxy's Edge to make that stuff happen. So. Okay, guys, and last but not least, we are going to talk about my #1 most anticipated thing to do in all of Galaxy's Edge. You know what it is. It's probably yours too. I want to build a lightsaber. I cannot wait to build a lightsaber. I've watched the entire experience. I don't feel like it ruined it at all. I feel like it only made me more excited. I cannot wait to choose my parts and hear Yoda's voice and ignite that thing. Ugh. It's going to be the best moment I've had in a Disney park ever. And I know for a lot of people who are hardcore Disney fans, they'll be like, wow, that's crazy. Like, how's that even possible? You've been alone in Pandora and you met Tim Tracker. Actually, meeting Tim was the best moment I ever had. But it's going to be right up there, right with meeting Tim, you know what I mean? It's going to be right there with that. Like, just super duper awesome, incredible moment that I've been waiting for, you know, not for as long. I've been waiting to build a lightsaber since I was about 10. I've only been waiting to meet Tim Tracker for 2 years, but when you wait for something for so long and then it happens, that is the coolest thing. Diane, I think I'm going to grab a purple crystal. I really do. Although once I see that green sitting there, I'll be hard pressed. But you know what I think is lame? And this is something that I'm hoping they'll change. Or it's something that I might just even go for. The thing is that if you go and get a yellow, because yellow or white would be my preferred Kyber crystal, and you can get those at Dok-Ondar's, but you can't go into Dok-Ondar's and buy a white or yellow crystal and then bring it into Sabi's workshop and put it in your lightsaber. I saw Dano. If you guys watch Dano, he's a Disneyland guy. Dano tried, he asked the gatherer, the person that helps you build your lightsaber, he was like, hey, can I use my crystal? And that person was like, the cast member was like, we ask that you please wait. So my first thought was like, hey, if you didn't ask them and you just put you put it in there and you put your clip on, they're just going to put it in the hilt. They're going to put the hilt into the blade and you're going to light it up, and what are they going to do, you know? Maybe they'd just be disappointed. They'll be like, some people be like, oh man, why? Or I can see the problem with it. You know, a kid over there like, oh, why? I wanted a white one, you know, what the heck, mom? And that ruins their experience. But on the other hand, you should be able to pick whatever Kyber crystal you want. So I don't know why they offered only the red, green, blue, and purple options in Sabi's. I think that was a kind of a miss. Diane says, Tim Tracker. Yeah, I met Tim Tracker. Go back and watch the vlog. It's, oh, we've done so many of them now. I think it's like 20, 21, vlog 20 or 21. I met Tim. It's right around there. It's in the title. Well, that's it, guys. Yeah, no, awesome. I love that you're all catching up in the chat. That's so cool. You know what, Diane? I thought about that, but it doesn't make sense because... So say that in Savi's they gave you all the Kyber crystal options. To build your lightsaber is $207 with tax. So, like... You have the lightsaber now with just one crystal of your preference. Like, if you wanted now a blue or green one, you'd have to go buy that from Doc Ondars. So it wouldn't really prevent people from going and buying a crystal. Most people's first choice is not going to be the ones they don't offer, the yellow and the white. I think those are actually the only two that they don't offer in Savi's. So, like, that's, for most people, those are not the lightsaber colors that they want. And I think maybe that's why they didn't include them in the list. But on the other hand, why would they prevent you from bringing it in if not everybody wanted it? It's a loop around. It just doesn't make sense. Yes, okay, Diane. Yeah, I saw them at Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, it looks probably like Animal Kingdom. Water park. New water park coming? Yeah, there's no new water parks at Disney. There are 2 water parks at Disney. There is a new hotel going where River Country used to be, though. So, guys, that was it. Does anybody have... I was going to leave the last 10 or 15 minutes open to questions from you guys. Does anybody have some questions about Galaxy's Edge that they want me to answer? Feel free to drop them in now. Or if you guys just have any questions at all, drop them in there. And yeah, in case you guys hadn't seen, I did change my look on my page. I have a new profile picture. My upload schedule is now on my banner. It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just easier for me. Thanks again, everybody, for just all the support. We just passed 35. We just about passed 3,500 hours. After this live stream is done, we'll have 3,500 hours. So we're getting real close, guys, sneaking up on that watch time, which is just incredible. Rachel, thanks for joining. Better late than never, my friend. Thank you so much. Tanya wants 50 facts. I don't know about that. I could do a handful of facts, though. I'll do a facts video for sure. I'm going to need some filler content because I only have 2 more vlogs left filmed, and that's that, guys, until Galaxy's Edge. So we're going to be doing a lot of stuff from home. A lot. We're going to be revisiting my top 10 lists. We're going to be doing a full comparison of all the Epcot festivals. All 4 that I've been to, because now I've officially gone to and vlogged and eaten and really dissected all 4 festivals. So we're going to have a video coming up comparing all those. We'll do a 50 facts video as well. Do I cook? You know what, Sandy? I can cook chicken nuggets in my air fryer. I can make a can of tuna fish. Frozen pizzas aren't outside of my wheelhouse. No, and I can make up a pretty mean burger. I can grill up some food. Steaks, burgers, ribs, whatever. Yeah, I can cook some stuff. I'm just messing around, making jokes. There's a few things I can cook. Diane, what age was I when I first went to Disney? I was 5. I want to say 5. Maybe I was 4 actually. 1990. I was right between 3 and 4 years old when I first went to Disney World. I don't actually remember the trip. I do remember like this one moment from the trip. It was my dad and my mom, and my dad, we were at Universal Studios, and my dad, his keys fell out of his pocket on the Back to the Future ride, which is like an equivalent of if your keys fell out over London on Peter Pan's flight. They had to shut the whole ride down, send somebody in there with a flashlight to find the keys, not ruin all the stuff, blah, blah, blah. Terrible. But so I remember that. For some reason, I just have these like fleeting memories of like just a miserable time. But then I went back to Disney World when I was 5 with my grandma. I was closer to 6. We stayed at All Star Sports, and we stayed there for like a week and a half, and I was with my cousins, and we had a good time. Yeah, it was a blast. Like, that's where all my first Disney memories come from, like falling in love with Splash, and falling in love because like Splash had pretty much just opened within the past few years. It opened in 91, and this was 93. So it was just a really awesome time, great memories. Like, I love those first trips. What does TIE Fighter pilots need breathing apparatus, but when Poe and Finn get in the TIE Fighter, they don't? You know what, Jeff? That's a good question. I guess, well, there were some of those yeah, that is weird. Huh. Talk about continuity errors, huh? Especially, like, those are very obvious tubes, like those guys have. And Vader wouldn't have one, obviously, because of the helmet. Damn, Jeff, that's a huge plot hole, bro. Diane, what's your favorite ride and snack? My favorite Disney ride is, at this very moment, currently, for the past 8 months, it has been Frozen Ever After. I know, shocker. I love that ride. If you don't like that ride, there's something wrong with you. I also love Flight of Passage, Mine Train, Slinky Dog Dash, Navi River Journey, Pirates of the Caribbean, Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion. Also like the Safari Everest, Soarin' Test Track. My favorite snack is definitely... My favorite snack is the candied bacon. It has always been, and it probably will never change. But I also love the cheeseburger, spring rolls, Peter Pan float. Yeah, those are my go-tos. Patrick, I had to step away for a bit. Have I talked about AP price hikes? I did, actually, Patrick. I talked about them in the 1K live stream. But I will just say now that I've always felt like the Disney Annual Pass was cheap for what you got. So the fact that it's more expensive now just makes it closer to what I think it really should have been at the first place. My first Disney memories of going to Magic Kingdom during your 15th birthday. Wow, they must be much more like vivid than my first Disney memories. Because 15's like, that's a prime time to go to Disney World. Yes, Diane, yep. I actually lived in Florida for a year with my grandpa, and we were annual pass holders when I was 9 to 10 years old. And we went to Disney all the time. I did the backlot tour 1,000 times, so I remember the old MGM, yep. Dan, yeah, Jeff, you're welcome. I love that. Yeah, thanks, man. Tanya wants to buy me a Congaloosh. I know you put Kingaloosh, but I know you so well that I know now that it's actually called a Congaloosh. Tanya, I need to buy you a slice of candied bacon. We'll trade. We'll have a day. Oh, the Park's 15th birthday. Park's 15th birthday Disney World opened in what, 71? So if Disney World opened in 71 and you went on its 15th, you went in 86. 2 years before I was born, Pat. You're showing your age, bro. Yes, they gave away prizes every 15 minutes, dude. I'm so jealous. The park's 15th birthday. Wow. That must have been an incredible experience. To be able to say that you've loved Disney for that long is like, you're the man. Shout out to Patrick, guys. He's crushing it. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for dropping by, man. We really appreciate that. Yeah, Bobby, I remember Epcot Center, the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. It was definitely a weird. I remember we just never really went to Epcot. It just was like, my grandpa was just like this. He didn't like that place at all. We did tend to do a lot of MGM. Like, we went and saw that Indiana Jones thing, like, every time we were there. He loved that show. Yeah, Disney has a lot of connections for me because my grandpa, he passed away a couple years ago. Bummed that we never got to do like some of the more intense kind of Disney rides, you know. I think about like what he would think of like if he were to ride Flight of Passage or even like Navi River Journey. That's where I really like, because he loved pirates and like that's where I got my love of dark rides from. Like even when we were at Epcot, like if we were at Epcot, we were doing like Living with the Land. You know what I mean? We loved those dark water rides. So the fact that he never got to see Navi River Journey or Pandora bums me out. But we can't all see everything, right? It's tough. I think about that all the time, especially like when I'm alone in Epcot. Like when I'm closing out, I think about the fact that like Walt Disney never even got to see Epcot. You know? It's like that's so heartbreaking to think that a guy put in like all that and he never even got to see it. It's like, makes you just want to appreciate your time there. I talk about this in the vlogs a lot. If you guys watch the vlogs, this is not the first you've heard me go down that little rabbit hole of making sure that all the moments you spend in Disney, you reflect how great it is just to be there and how lucky you are to be there. David, thanks so much, man. I'm happy you could learn a thing or two here in the Galaxy's Edge live stream. Tanya, Diane, thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I know. That's, you know. Oh, you guys, that's very sweet. That really actually touched me just now, you guys. He is around you on the rides. That's very nice. And you can definitely feel Walt's spirit, too, you know. Yeah, we're all super lucky to be there. And I'm super lucky that I get to see Galaxy's Edge open. That's an amazing thing that me and my grandpa also had really deep ties to. He was the guy that brought me to Star Wars when I first saw Star Wars in 1997 when they re-released Star Wars with the new effects. And yeah, that was just, whew. Ever since then, I've been waiting for this day to be able to go and like really say that like I was in Star Wars, you know. It's gonna be excellent. Erica is in the house. Erica is just finishing up her trip, guys. She just had a blast in Walt Disney World. Huge shout out to you, Erica. I was so jealous of your trip. I'm so happy that you and your family had a great time. And I'm happy that you got to meet up with some friends that you've made through the chat and the Disney community, and that really warmed my heart. Cool, guys. So like I said, I'll stream for another couple minutes. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to just drop them here in the chat. I do just want to fix something real quick that I want to just plug in I've been reading all the comments on my iPad, so maybe we'll just, once the iPad dies, that's when I'll sign off, guys. It doesn't have too much juice left in it. Yes, thank you, Sandy, for saying that. My grandpa appreciates it. He was a hardcore Disney fan. Oh, Tanya and Erica, you guys didn't get to meet up. I'm bummed. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know it can be tough sometimes. So much going on, and like Disney can definitely be a tough place to meet up. Thanks, Never Too Much Pixie Dust, for being in the house today. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you all so much for this. It helps my watch time out tremendously when you guys sit here and watch these live streams with me. It's the most help you can possibly give my channel, so thank you so much for being here. Well, the cool thing, Tanya, is that you and we don't even have to plan up because the Disney gods just they make us pass. We're like ships, not ships in the night that don't see each other. We're just like ships that bump into each other. The opposite of ships in the night. Guys, I cannot stop running into Tanya. Every time we're in the parks, it's actually amazing how often I've run into Tanya. Way more than anybody else, and it's like, it's crazy. Sandy, you guys rock. Thank you so much. No, Diane, I have not been to Disneyland. I do plan to go 2020. You guys will see me in Disneyland. I will be staying at the Disneyland Hotel. 100%, no doubt about it. I don't know how I'm going to label those vlogs, though. It's going to be like, yeah, we'll see, because I don't want to break from my count. Like, I'm at Disney Vlog 40, like, next one's 41, 42, like, I don't want to be like, Disneyland Vlog 1, because it's probably only going to be a couple. Yeah, I think that's kind of what leads people to watching some people versus other people, because we all do kind of see Disney differently. And yeah, so I really appreciate that, Tanya. The fact that you have so many options, you know what I mean, of people to watch, and you are so invested in the community, you know, like so many people know you, and you know so many people that like you watch my videos. That means the world to me. It inspires me, and without you I probably wouldn't have hit 1K anywhere close to as fast as I did. So thank you so much. If I ever get 1 million followers, me and you are going to all 5 Disney parks on me. Whirlwind tour. Yeah, that's true, Bobby and Diane. It would be those are. I think I could come up with some cool like surnames for it, like some of my Disney World videos, like Return of the Disney Fan or See You Real Soon, or you know what I mean, all that stuff. I like that. I just mean like, will it be vlog 70? You know, by then. I was kind of just thinking out loud, but I'm definitely gonna go, and we're gonna have a blast in Disneyland. There are so many things I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to eat at the Blue Bayou. It's my #1 any Disney park restaurant to eat. Even more so than Victoria and Albert's, I want to eat at the Blue Bayou. Tanya, please hold me to that. It's right here. This live stream's never going anywhere. If I hit 1 million subs, we are out of here. And we're going to take a serious, like, nice plane, too, like Casey Neistat style. 1 million subs. Give me 10 years or something. Oh, Diane, I'm so jealous. Just the atmosphere alone. I know it's kind of like La Hacienda de San Angel in that Mexico Pavilion at Epcot, but I think it's just a little bit better at the Blue Bayou. He always said that his favorite steak ever was at the Blue Bayou, and he just recently went back, and I guess they took it away, and he was like super bummed. So I don't know if what I'll get now. That was always going to be what I got. And then I think also, guys, so my future plans, 2021, we're gonna be doing Aulani in 2021 because I will be joining DVC either this winter or next year, and I will be doing an Aulani trip with those points. I cannot wait. I've never been to Hawaii. I want to go to Aulani. I want to bring somebody with me. I don't want that to be a solo trip. It might actually be a family member. I'm not quite sure unless I can find like a super chill friend of mine that wants to go. But yeah, Aulani and a Disney cruise in 2021. Those are the big, and we'll be doing Walt Disney World trips constantly, but 2021, that's the big year. Bobby, I haven't had a ton of steaks at Disney. I have had a few, and by far my favorite is Tiffin's. Tiffin's at lunch does a carne asada that is delicious. Patrick's going to Tokyo Disney. I am super jealous, man. Disney Sea is like bucket list for me. Diane, yeah, even more than the Mexican Pavilion restaurant in Mexico. Yeah. Mexico, I think they're like set in the same kind of theming, you know, those two restaurants. Yes, Diane, Le Cellier. I have been to Le Cellier. I have had the steak. I gotta be perfectly honest with you. It was whatever. This was before I was vlogging, though. This was back in a trip I had with one of my girlfriends back in the day. And I just was way more impressed with the ambiance in Le Cellier. But the steak was actually not that good. It was super undercooked. That was my issue, is that I get my steak medium. And all too often when I order a medium steak, the chef thinks like he's better than me or something, and he makes like it mid-rare. And the reason I say it like that is because I've worked in kitchens my whole life. I worked at this place called the Black Pearl where the 2004 Chef of the United States worked. Like, he was a French-trained Gordon Ramsay type guy. So, like, I know cooks. I know chefs. This is what I do for a living, is I work in restaurants. Even though I'm in front of the house now and I'm a bartender, like, I've seen some food in my day. And I know that sometimes if you get your steak, you know, some chefs, you order it medium and they're like, oh, he doesn't know what he wants, we're going to give it to him mid-rare. And I think that's exactly what happened at Le Cellier, and I was not happy about that. Yeah, I think I did have the filet, Patrick. I wouldn't have had it. I mean, you know, I could have had a New York strip. But I actually prefer strip steak over fillets anyway, you know what I mean? I like to have a little bit of marbleization. Sometimes those fillets are just too like butter. I like that bite back a little bit. I'd say my favorite cut's probably like, you know, a New York strip. Then it would be like a bone-in, like a ribeye. But I do like fillets and tenderloins. They're good, definitely good. It's all about, I think that, humble brag here, folks. I talk to AJ a lot from Disney Food Blog. AJ tells me on the regular that the only consistent thing about Disney restaurants is how inconsistent they are. Period. Like, that's all. You guys, she's the queen. The queen. Okay? The queen. I bowed down in front of her with her food knowledge at Disney. Everything AJ's ever told me about Disney has been spot on. The Flame Tree barbecue fries, like, at the end of the day, you're probably going to sit down and enjoy those more than you're going to like 90% of your sit-down meals at Walt Disney World. It's just a hard fact. Like, the snacks at Disney are really good. I live in the Northeast, you know what I mean? Providence, Rhode Island, where I live very close to. It's the capital of my state. It's like some of the best restaurants in the Northeast. The Capitol Grill and places like that. Like, I can go and have a killer meal anytime. But can I go have outrageous, awesome, cool snacks? on this Disney-fied level? No. And that's, I think, why I'm more of a snack-based guy. Cool. I'm just reading up your comments, guys. Cali Grill. I loved Cali Grill. I had a good time up there. I had a charcuterie plate up there, so that was really good, guys. And that actually will be a good way for me to wrap up this live stream, because I wanted to do a little promotion, self-promotion for myself. Tomorrow, I will be uploading vlog number 41. And we'll be eating at Cali Grill with my buddy Ryan. Ryan's Laughing Place. So you guys have seen in plenty of my vlogs. And we ran into Jen and Scott from Happiest Vlogs on Earth. They were super nice. They were actually cool enough to be in my vlog. So look forward to that. I will be uploading that tomorrow. Not sure of the time, but I'm going to get it done today and we're going to go from there. So I will see you guys all tomorrow for that. One of the coolest vlogs I'm ever going to put out, because hey, what's cooler than meeting some of your YouTube icons in Walt Disney World? Nothing at all. So guys, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for all the support, guys. If you want to help the channel, rewatch some of my vlogs to help my watch time get up there. And I will see you guys for the premiere of vlog 41 tomorrow. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everybody else who just stopped in for even just a couple minutes. I know Disney Dan was in here for a while and Emily was in here for a while. So I really, really appreciate that, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Have a magical rest of your night. I'll see you real soon.